Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday training. My name is Carolina Teasdale, and I'm going to be talking about some social media techniques that I use to prospect and to build my network. So we'll start in a minute. Make sure that your team members are here and they don't want to miss this training. I taught this many times and I've been doing the same thing over and over again for 6 years. And if you talk to the top leaders in the company, they will tell you that they do the same thing over and over and over again because it works. And we're here for duplication. So we want to teach simple techniques that work. Okay, awesome. I think somebody is recording, but I don't know how to gain that permission back, but I hope I'm recording too. Awesome. All right, let me share my screen and I'm going to start the presentation. Awesome. Can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up. Okay, great. So social media is such an important tool for me, and I know for you guys as well. I have used social media since I started. At the beginning of my journey, I did not have many followers at all. I actually had my account in private because I was so shy and I was so embarrassed and I didn't want any strangers looking at my content. And it took me some time to go public. As a matter of fact, I went public and then 2 days later, I went back to private because I felt so intimidated and so overwhelmed with I used to go through every single person that watched my stories and like my post. I wanted to make sure if I knew them. And when I was like, oh, I don't know this person, and I would go back into private. So it's totally understandable if you are in that place. I'm just here to tell you that if you do want to grow your business big and widen your reach, that's why we have this incredible promotion. Using social media is so powerful because it is the most powerful platform that we all have to brand ourselves. Back in the day, we used to have marketing directors and advertisements and sponsor ads and all these things that cost money. But today, we can all have that incredible tool for free. All we have to do is be consistent and just be passionate and show your life authentically. So there are many reasons why I chose to teach social media today. One of them is because of the massive reach. There are days where I barely see 2 to 3 people a day, but there are days where I make a post and I have 20 likes, 30 likes, 50 likes, and I get to expose what I'm doing with way more people. And the more valuable the content is, and the more that you inspire somebody, the more that it is going to be shared. So the reach and the visibility that we have in social media, it is incredible. Okay, so I want to start by sharing some metrics because when I read these metrics, I was like, wow, that is incredible. So as of this year, there's 4.8 billion people in social media. That's like more than half of the population in the planet that are using social media. It is one of the most powerful ways to share our voice. And as I like to say, our voice is our medicine. They are people suffering in silence and they're waiting for us to share what we have to share, our gift. And social media allows us to share that in such an easy and authentic way. And comparison is the thief of joy. So always when you start your social media, be you. Be you. I watched this movie, and I'm sure that most of you guys watched it already. It's called Cool Runnings. You guys watch Cool Runnings? And how when they decided to be themselves, they won and they did amazing. The power of being authentic. So watch that movie because that's how you want to show up on your social media. It's exactly how you are. And 60% of the population is in all these platforms out there. So if you want to go big, if you want to build a massive army everywhere, if you want to share your voice with thousands of people, start with social media. Start small. Start small. And the more authentic that you are and the more valuable that you are and the more lives that you change, you're going to start growing. And it is not about popularity. It's about influence. So it is not about how many followers you have, it's how many people can you influence. And I know that there are people that have millions of followers and they don't have much influence. And then I know people that have 1,000 followers and they have a lot of influence. And I'm going to have a guest later today, which she's one of those. She didn't have that many followers, but she has tons and tons of influence. And that's what we want to do. I don't watch TV. I don't even have a TV in my bedroom. We have a TV that hasn't been turned on in ages. And when we do is to put Zooms on or watch some documentaries. I'm on social media most of the time, and I get my news from social media, and the average person spends 2.5 hours a day in social media. So that is huge. That is a lot of reach that we can have. And if we start looking at different platforms, Facebook, still king. There's about 2.96 billion people. It's not million, it's billion people on Facebook. And I know that there's a lot of leaders that don't even use any other platform. They just use Facebook. I have a lot of success in Facebook as well. I do a lot of recruiting in Facebook. And there's a lot of people there. And on Facebook, people spend an average of 33 minutes a day from all ages. My mom is in Facebook. She posts more in Facebook than I do. Okay, so Facebook is still very, very powerful. Instagram, 2.35 billion people. So people spend a little bit more time in Facebook than Instagram. LinkedIn, I used to be one of those that used LinkedIn all the time back when I was practicing architecture, and every time I would go to construction site or city hall or planning, I would contact people through LinkedIn. It used to be our business card. Well, that still works, and I still use it for prospecting, especially when I'm trying to recruit somebody in a specific area. I go through LinkedIn, I look at categories, I look at what people are doing, the backgrounds that they have, and then I look for them in Instagram. I find them on LinkedIn, and then I go find them on Instagram, and then I follow them on Instagram, and that way I can be more strategic of how I find people. Twitter's the new X. I'm not sure if you guys use Twitter. Twitter's also very powerful. It's a little bit different. The content creation is a little bit different there. And then TikTok. I love TikTok, but TikTok, in my opinion, you have to be super consistent and you have to post multiple times a day. And it is a great way to also prospect. As a matter of fact, last month, I closed a girl that reached out to me on TikTok from a post that I did 2 years ago. Isn't that amazing? With social media, your content is always working. It's always working. So TikTok still works. It's a little bit more challenging in my opinion because you have to be more consistent than any other platform. And then lastly, the second big monster is YouTube with 2.7 billion people. So that's more people that in the city that you're living on, in any event that you can go to. So social media, it is extremely powerful on how many people you can reach and how you can start to be social. A lot of us don't spend a lot of time going outside of their moms. You don't have much time to go network outside of the house, and social media is such a great place for you to do that. And we'll hear some stories. So this is a little exercise that I like to do to figure out where to start with social media. So if you guys have a pen and paper, draw this graph. Just make a cross and write people, places, products, and passions. This is going to help you identify what to start to follow, to look for in social media. And I'm going to show you some tricks that I do. But you want to get clear with your ideal prospect. And your ideal prospect has to have some likes, something in common with you. Okay, like I'm not going to prospect pilots right now because I'm not a pilot, so I can't start a conversation. But I'm going to go easy and I'm going to start conversations with people that I admire, places that I want to go to, passions, products that I'm interested on, and passions that I have. So you want to get very clear with who you are looking for in social media if you're prospecting in social media. And what I like to do is, this is just an example. People, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor. Maybe you like Taylor Swift. Maybe you follow Dr. Zach Bush. Whoever you admire, I can guarantee you that they have a Facebook group. I can guarantee you that there's a lot of hashtags with those people. And I have many of my leaders that have joined Facebook groups like Tony Robbins, and they start being social with people in the group. They ask a question about objections, limits, and beliefs. Some people engage, and then they start having this conversation that eventually moves into the private DMs. Okay, so start following hashtags as well. Did you guys know you can follow hashtags on Instagram? And then all this content that has that hashtag starts showing up in your feed. And you don't follow these people, but they're liking the things that you like. So they're going to start showing in your feed. And it's kind of like social media is doing the work for us. Like I follow the hashtag health coaches, and Instagram is constantly feeding me posts from health coaches. So every time I open my Instagram, I'm like, oh, this girl is so cool. She's doing retreats. She's doing all these cool things. She has a big network. She's a great speaker. I'm going to follow her back. Okay. So find people, places, maybe places that you want to go visit. Maybe you want to go to Italy and start following the hashtag. And you're like, hey, girl, I love that place that you just went to. Where exactly is it? How did you like that food at that restaurant? I'm going to Sicily next week. I love to go there. What would you recommend? I'm expanding my business in Colorado, and I see we're so alike. Right? Like that, you can start so many conversations with things that you like, places that you want to go, products that you like. I was thinking about trying that face cream. How did you like it? Do you recommend it? It's so expensive, but I've been looking at it for so long. Is it worth it? I love that you love natural products. Do you have any other recommendations? Like, you can start conversation with so many people, but get clear on things, places, passions, and people that you like. Clear? Okay. So this is something that has worked for me many times, and it's just following hashtags. I do this all the time. I follow so many hashtags, you guys. You want to find hashtags that they're little less than 100K post, so there doesn't have that many posts, and start engaging with all these people. Be social, create connections. Facebook groups, again, is so easy to make friends on Facebook groups. So easy. You can post a recipe. You can comment on somebody's recipe. I'm in a group. It's called Girls That Lift Weights, Latinas Entrepreneurs. I actually close a lady that she lives right by my house. She speaks Spanish. She's a Spanish leader. I found her on the Latinas Entrepreneur. And I started having conversations with her. And then after a couple months of me commenting, dropping a heart, dropping a comment, oh girl, I love that. I want to go there someday. Just creating all this just opening communication and creating all these conversations eventually are going to be leading to a funnel. Okay. So find Facebook groups based on this chart that we just saw. Okay. So join this Facebook group. When I moved to the United States, I looked for Italians that live in Los Angeles, Argentinians that live in Los Angeles. I was raised in Argentina, but I'm Italian. So I was like, oh, I want to find the community that lives in LA. There are communities for absolutely everything. For absolutely everything. So you want to join all those groups and follow those hashtags so you can start to create new connections with people that are actually have the traits that you're looking for. Okay, that they are like you. So if they click on your page, they're like, oh, she actually likes the things that I like. Oh, she's also into gut health. Oh, she's also into cooking. Oh, she's also into sustainable living. And then they see that you're so alike, and then they follow you back. And sometimes they don't follow you back. I have a girl that I've been prospecting for 5 years. 5 years, guys. and I comment in every post that she makes. I drop hearts. I watch her stories. I have the notifications turned on. So every time she posts, I get a notification. And then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know lectins get destroyed if you pressure cook beans. And then I had made a post about that, not that far from the moment that she made that post. And then she followed me back after 5 years. 3 weeks ago, she invited me to her event. She used to be a nurse. Now she's like a functional medicine practitioner. And she invited me to her event. I drove 2 hours to go to her event. And she tried the power shake, she tried the cherry, because of course I brought some superfoods with me. She's so interested in joining the business. She wants me to be a speaker in her next event. And all because I was consistent. And for 5 years, I kept on liking her posts, dropping comments, giving her compliments every time. I am her most raving fan. Okay. She's like, there she is again. Okay. So you want to be able to find those people and then be on top of them. So then you can build that relationship. And in social media, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes people have to see you posting or liking their posts or dropping 100 comments before they notice who you are. Okay. So it takes time. And in this training, I want you guys to also know that it is important to have a balance between prospecting in person and using social media. And I'll share really quickly how I do it. So I went to get a haircut a couple of days ago, and I looked for salons in Ventura that had a lot of reviews. And then I picked a stylist. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't cut my hair in so many years. You're the the one that is literally going to transform my energetic body. Anyways, I give her a bunch of compliments. And then I took a little video of me and I'm like, hey girl, are you on social media? And she's like, yeah, I am. And I'm like, can I tag you? Anyways, I tagged her. I followed her. She followed me back. The next day I said, my gosh, thank you so much for giving me such an awesome haircut. I'm definitely going to take some time to feel like myself again. I feel like I lost the identity without my long hair. And she's like, oh, it's going to take time. Don't wash your hair for 2 days. Let the trim sink in, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I've been watching her stories for the last couple of days. She already commented in my post. And now I'm moving her through the funnel. She's like, hey, I'm very interested in the program that you do. Okay. So I met her in person and then I use social media to move them through the funnel. And I do that a lot. Okay. I don't just make a post and hope somebody buys. Okay. And I think that is one of the biggest mistakes that we do when we take the approach of social media, is that we're posting and we're expecting people to buy. And then if we don't see the conversion to happen fast enough, we get discouraged. So start using social media for prospecting, building relationships, and then also move people through the funnel with your social media. Okay. Awesome. So something that I like to do is that I find these people through the hashtags, through Facebook groups, and then I comment in their post, and then I add them as a friend. And then I move the conversation to the private DMs. Like I'm in a group about protein, and all these people are always asking, what's the kind of protein? I have kidney stones. What kind of proteins do you guys recommend? And of course, I don't want to drop the answer in the comments because I want to create curiosity. So it moves to the DMs. And then I said, hey girl, I've been taking something amazing that it bypasses your kidneys so you don't have to struggle with the kidney stones. And I'd love to share it with you. And then I move it to the DMs. I'm like, hey girl, I just commented on the post. I wanted to share with you something that is working for me. And it's an incredible protein. Even people that are going through serious issues with their health, this is so gentle. If you're open to it, I would love to share a little bit more. See how like I move it from the comments to the private DMs, and then I can have a conversation, because in a lot of the times in these Facebook groups, you can't sell anything. Okay. So it's really, really important that you also are consistent with creating your content, creating your stories. In social media, it is all about consistency and about creating trust. That is the most important thing. If you post once in a while, people are not going to trust you very much. Okay. You want to be able to build that strong credibility with your audience, because that's what's going to start helping you build your brand. Okay. So if you want to build a brand and you want to get to be known by something, you got to be consistent. I joined this business being an architect. I didn't even know what wheatgrass was. Okay. I had to Google what's wheatgrass. And I was like, is that the thing that cats eat? You know, because I would see it at the pet store. And I was like, no, that's not it. I didn't even know anything about superfoods. I was just very hungry to help people feel better. And I wanted to change my life financially. And everybody that knew me as the architect. I did engineering, architecture, multi-use residential buildings. I had no idea about health and wellness. All I knew was I like to cook and I love to share health and wellness and I love to help people. And that was enough for me to get incentivized to run for Crown. So I had to build my brand. And I had to post more recipes of me cooking, sharing that this is good for my health. I don't know what is in these magical tablets, but when I take them, my muscles grow. It is amazing. It doesn't bloat me up like other proteins. Ever since I've been taking this cocktail before bedtime made with cherries, I've been sleeping better than ever. You guys need to try this. Right? I wasn't technical about the superfoods, but I was very consistent and I was posting over time. When people had problems sleeping, guess who they will reach out? Even my architect friends. Hey, you've been doing this thing. I can't sleep. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're in the computer all day. You're not eating. You're not sleeping. Like, you should try this program that I'm on. And eventually, now people don't even know I'm an architect. Okay. When people when I tell them, yeah, I'm an architect. I do all these things on the side. They're like, you do? They think I only do health and wellness because that's what I show on my social media, because I know that's what's creating credibility and trust with my audience, because my intention is to make it to Royal Crown. And another thing that was really important for me was, do you want to be a social media? Raw, actually, my husband, he asked me this question. He's like, do you want to be a social media influencer or you want to be a Royal Crown? Because both of them require a totally different amount of effort when it comes to social media. Okay. Do you want to be a social media influencer or you want to be a crown? Because to be a crown, you have to be consistent. You have to post every day. You have to show your life. You have to be authentic, and you don't need to have a niche. You don't need to only talk about one thing like all these big influencers do. You just have to do you, and you're going to attract exactly who you want, because we are constantly attracting who we are. Okay. So if you want to attract somebody that is consistent, then you have to be consistent. And this is proven. Okay. Leaders lead the way. And that's something that has helped me a lot. So back to this, provide value. That is super important. Share about your life, but also educate. And it doesn't have to be on your wall. It could be on your stories. Constantly be educating. So then people feel that if they come across your page, they're going to learn something. Don't only post Purium, because that's going to become boring. And then they're like, oh, this girl again, that's drinking the green juice again. Just be fun, be creative, show everything that you do. And I guarantee that you're going to attract the right people into your life. Be so authentic. And the more valuable that you become, the more people you're going to be attracting. So if your social media is not moving or is not growing fast enough, just know that you have to become more valuable. Maybe read a book every day and then share an insight of the book. Watch a YouTube video. What I used to do when I started, I watched all the Vimeo videos of Dave Sandoval. If you go into the Purium Vimeo and you go through the beginning of time, those videos are priceless. Dave's food philosophy or carbon footprint. Like, there's so many incredible white Purium. And you don't have to say, oh, I am I choose Purium because XYZ. And I say, I chose to partner with this amazing company because environmental stewardship and how we're treating the soils and all these things. And it's going to start creating curiosity. So watch some of those videos and start getting inspired. I used to use, and I still use, sticky notes. I am the sticky note girl. When I'm going live, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, and when I make post, I use sticky notes because I forget what I'm going to say. So I put them in right in my tripod, and then I'm like, guys, did you know that glyphosate creates bloating, inflammation, chronic fatigue? Like I don't remember these things. As a matter of fact, I also even use a teleprompter. There's a lot of apps that have a teleprompter so that you can run it, and then it gives you little reminders, and then you can start sharing authentically and get yourself into habit. So make yourself super, super valuable. All right. And then engage with everybody that comments in your post. That I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So let's move on. Content creation. This is one of my favorite slides. Take a picture of this, okay? Because your content has to be epic. And by epic, I mean educating and entertaining, showing your personal life, being inspirational, and conversational. If you move people through this funnel, this epic funnel, you are going to create sales and you are going to enroll a lot of people. But you have to follow the funnel. Educate. That's how you're going to attract people into your page. Either you're educating or you're entertaining. That's going to bring your audience. Then that audience, it's going to watch your stories, and it's going to learn a little bit more about your personal life. And that's when they're going to fall in love with you. Okay, based on what you do, the things that you say, how authentic you are in your stories. I shared the other day that I cried after I cut my hair. And I had probably 100 people liked my story. Okay. And you know, when people can like your story, and I was like, I was like, wow, a lot of people like this story because I said I cried after I cut my hair because I was so attached, and I'm working on detachment. And that was a big part of me, was holding on to my hair, even though I wanted to get a trim. I was like, no, I don't want to let go, but I want to let go, but I want to hold on to it. And I shared authentically, and I had so much engagement. So much engagement. I actually connected with multiple hairstylists that called me and gave me some tips. And now they're my friends, and I'm going to be moving them through my funnel, all because I decided to be so authentic. So show your personal life, create inspirational content, and this can be in your stories. I would say the educating, the entertaining is in your wall. And then the personal and the inspiration can also be on your stories. Inspire people, share your vulnerability, share the difficult moments that you're going through, because that's where they're going to connect with you even more. When they get to know you as a real human being, not as this perfect guy or this perfect girl that everything goes right. Share vulnerability, share those things, because people are going to bond with you so, so much. I went through a miscarriage a couple years ago, and I finally decided to be open about it on social media because I was like, I need to bring in more awareness into this topic. And my social media has been so active. You know, sometimes those things that we hold private are the things that are going to get you to the other side. One of my friends says that privacy is a disease. And the more open that you are with the problems and the challenges that you're going through your life, the more that people are going to come to you, and the right people that have what you have to offer, that want what you have to offer. And then everything leads to conversation, and all conversation leads to sales. So use this funnel, take a picture, because this allows you to get to know people, to like and to trust. They get to know you and you get to know them. They get to like you, you get to like them, and they get to trust. And then it's a mutual trust, and they join your business and they buy your products. And then the relationship evolves to the point that a lot of them become family. A lot of my customers and brand partners are like my family. And I have multiple here in this call that are part of my family. And I met them on social media. doing exactly what I just taught you guys, following hashtags and moving people through this funnel. Okay. And when you are posting on social media, when I mean consistency, it doesn't mean every single day. Maybe consistency for you means every other day, maybe 3 times a week. Find what consistency is for you and set yourself up for success, not failure. You guys have no idea how many times I said, I'm going to be posting every single day. And after 2 days of being consistent, I'm like, oh my God, now I haven't posted for 3 days. All right. So find what consistency is for you and then commit to that. And then if you do extra, it's a bonus. Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about lives. So lives are amazing to bond with people. I feel that they're more like you get to be more bornable when you go into live because you don't have time to criticize yourself. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Let me redo it again. Let me erase the story or let me put a filter here. When you're live, you're raw. You are so authentic and people are watching, you get to engage, people get to ask questions. So this is the strategy that I use when I go live. You choose a very good title that creates a lot of curiosity. And then this is the most important part, good energy and delivery. So if you're not in a good mood, don't go in a live. Tony Robbins, what he does is that he has a trampoline. And before he gets on stage, he jumps in the trampoline. So when he goes out, he has all this energy and then people can feel it. It is really, really important that you do have that good energy. And then having a structure. So most people are not going to watch your live as you go live. They're going to watch the recording. Okay. The recording is actually going to leave there for a long time. I still tag people and recordings that I've done from 4 years ago. Okay. And it's important that when you do these lives, you have a structure. It is very noticeable when people are winging it versus when they're prepared. And when people are prepared, it looks so professional and it's so easy to follow. So this is the structure that I use. I have my intro, and then I offer 2, 3 tips, reasons, whatever it might be. I touch 3 points. And then the most important part is the call to action. If you're posting, but you don't have a call to action, you have a huge leak in your business and in your social media. Call to actions help you move people through the funnel, create engagement. So then your page shows up to everyone's feed. If your friends are comment, it's going to pop up into your other friends that comment. So the call to action could be actually, why don't you guys drop in the chat some common call to actions that you guys use so everyone can see. Call to actions. And you have to be extremely detailed with what the call to action has to be. Okay. Comment below if video replay. Yes, video and replay is a good one. Are you ready to dive in? So let's talk about that one. Are you ready to dive in? So to me, that's very ambiguous. A lot of people are ready to dive in, but if you don't tell them exactly what to say in the comments, they're not going to. People want you to tell them what to do. They want you to tell them what to do. If you're ready to dive in, drop a thumbs up below in the comments. So that's what's missing on that one. Drop a thumbs up below if you're ready to dive in. See, you're telling them what to do. If you're interested in watching the recording, comment below the word recording. If you love this content, drop a heart below. If you agree, drop a butterfly, whatever it might be. It has to be a specific word and call to action. If it's an open-ended question, people are not going to engage. Okay, so be very, very, very specific. Is that clear? make it simple for them. The ones that I like to use, if you're ready to start a business from home and work with me, drop below the word business, or comment or DM me the word business, or comment below the word business. And then it also helps you to follow up, because then you can go through all your business posts and then look at all the comments. You're like, oh, let me go see the post that I made last week about business, and let me follow up with all these people again, right? Because you have all those answers in the comments or in your DMs. Okay, so be super, super specific. And in your stories, the call to actions are different. You know, the polls could be, I'm ready to start. Give me more info. Send me the link. I'm ready to join. It's a little bit different, but in your post on your Facebook, in your Instagram, be super, super specific. Comment below the word transformation if you're ready to transform the way that you feel. Comment below the word parasite if you're ready to go through a parasite cleanse. Whatever it might be super mega specific. And you want to have a call to action in all your posts, because that's going to help your engagement. And then when you make a post, your post is going to be shown up to many, many more people's account. Guys, I've been doing this consistently for the last year, and I gained like 25 or 30,000 new followers because I made some silly videos that have call to actions. And because a lot of people were commenting, the next time I made another reel, then it went viral, it got millions of views, and then that moved a lot of people through my funnel. Okay, so if I didn't ask the call to action, I wouldn't have that engagement, and my account wouldn't have grown as it did. So it's really, really important that you do have that. Then this is a very simple structure that I use in my stories. And even when I go live, I start with the problem and the pain point. I used to struggle with anxiety. I was always overwhelmed and stressed. My hair was falling. I was bloated all the time. Then I found this amazing program that my friend introduced me to, and I started feeling better within 10 days. And then there's a proof, and then there is a poll, which is another call to action. Okay, so if you follow the 1, 2, 3, 4 structure, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to actually click on your poll or comment or DM you. You want to follow it. Start with the problem and then the solution. You want to show the problem first, because it is in the problem where people are going to identify. Me too. I struggle with anxiety. Me too. I have bloating. Me too. I also struggle sleeping. So you want to always bring the problem up front. And then this is what my girlfriend did postpartum, and she felt better than ever. Provide a solution. This is her before and after. This is her testimonial. And guys, you can use the share because you care post. You can repurpose those. This is Marisa. She struggled dropping weight after she started the program. Here she is. She dropped 20 pounds. And then you have your poll. So you can repurpose all of those share because you care post. We're good? So I want to go over this very quickly, and then I'm going to have some testimonials. So these are some scripts that I use, and they work every single time. So if you guys want to screenshot this, I don't deviate from this. So script to send to followers that comment on my post. I used to do this even when I had 200 likes or 300 likes or 50 likes and 20 likes. I would do this every single time. And sometimes people were comment in multiple posts, and I was like, oh, I already sent that to her. I'm not going to send it again. I would do this manually. Hey, Samantha, thank you so much for commenting on my post or for liking my post, whichever they did. I was just wondering, were you just being supportive, or would you like some information on what I do? So if they didn't put a comment or a call to action and they just liked it, I will still reach out. Thank you, Susie, for liking my post. I was just wondering, are you being supportive and showing some love, or are you actually interested in what I do? Every single time. Then if they ask for more information, it's like, yeah, I love what you do. I'm like, I've said, yeah, of course. I'd love to share more with you. What do you know about X and Y? And you can fill up in the gap. Can I tag you in a quick video? Maybe it's a live that I did. I still tag people in lives that I did from 3 years ago when I explained the program. Okay. And then I say tagged, I just tagged you. Can you send me a thumbs up when you're done watching it? I don't even move them out of the platform. I don't even take them to YouTube or Vimeo. I keep them on Instagram. That's why I tag them. Hey, can I tag you? And so all they do is they click on the post. They're still in the app. They don't even waste 1 second leaving the app. Okay, straight into that video. And then script to send when you get a new follower. Again, Raw, that now has hundreds of thousands of followers, and myself, we did this and we still do this to today. Let's say Angie follows me and I say, hey, Angie, thank you so much for sending me a friend request and connecting. I was just wondering, where did you find me? And what kind of questions I can answer for you? You want to know your income producing activity. A lot of people say, oh, I found you because I heard you on this podcast. Oh, I found you because I saw you on the Human Garage page. Oh, I found you because my friend Christina made a repost from you. Oh, I found you because of your reel. And then I'm like, oh, 10 people found me because of a reel and 5 people found me from a podcast, which I'm going to create more content from. I'm going to make more reels, right? Because more people are finding me through the reels than the podcast. For example, for Raw, my husband, he gets a lot of people from his podcast. Like every say, hey, I just heard your podcast. I just heard your podcast. Oh, I just heard your interview. Or I saw you at this event at the yoga studio. You want to be doing more of what is bringing people into your page, but you're not going to know what your income producing activity is in social media if you don't ask how do they found you. When you start asking that question, you're going to be like, whoa, I need to do more of this. Okay, so get clear on that. Awesome. So let me see if I have some of my guests here. Melissa, can you raise your hand? Okay. Okay, there we go. Here's my Melly. Okay, so Melissa Castillo, it's a red diamond. And her and I met a few years ago on social media. She was actually very skeptical. I follow up with her so many times, and I still bring this up to today because she was the hardest person for me to ever close. And of course, she's a red diamond, right? Those hard people that are very hard to close are typically the really good ones. And I remember in New Year's, it was New Year's Eve. And I was in a mission and I just said, I'm going to start the year with a brand new brand partner and I'm going to close her tonight. And my family was having dinner. It was New Year's Eve. And I called Melissa and I was like, Melissa, we got a special. It ends at the end of the month, which is today. And fast forward, she joined the business. And remember what I said about it's not about how popular you are, but about how influential you are. It's not about how many followers you have, it's how many people you can influence. Well, Melissa's one of those. Melissa, as soon as she started and then she kept on going, she's hit the 12K club. Okay. I don't even think that she tried very hard. She was being authentic and she was doing exactly what I just showed you guys. So Melly, would you be able to share with them a little bit of your approach with social media? Because you're so good at creating your stories. Your stories are amazing. Like you spend a lot of time creating your stories.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while since I've talked on here, so it's nice to be back, especially with you, Caro. I love you so much. Anyway, yeah, in the beginning, I only had like about like 900 followers, and so I'm like, oh, there's not many people seeing me, so it's okay. Like, not maybe people won't even watch what I'm saying. And I simply started making stories because I didn't want the stress of editing. I don't know if you guys get this overwhelming feeling of wanting to like edit your posts and make them look pretty and presentable because that's how like it's almost like your social media is like your resume, like your portfolio, right? And it's what people look at. And so for me, stories was so easy for me to just have a conversation like with myself. That's essentially what I was doing, having a conversation with myself on the camera. And I just started sharing my story. And I wasn't really looking to sell a lot in the beginning. I was just looking to share my story, which was I was going through a healing journey myself. And I just needed connection. And a lot of us um, need connection, right? And that's how it started. It was that simple. I don't have a strategy for it. I did it messy. I messed up a lot. There were times where I probably wasn't pronouncing things right, but I did it anyway. And then I just started getting better and better. And till this day, like I show up as much as I can, and I make it fun.
I love that. I love that you show up in your pajamas, you
Yeah.
know, with your messy hair after the gym. You share your thoughts out loud. Sometimes I cry when I watch a story. Sometimes you talk about your novels. Like she likes to read novels, like romantic novels. And so many people are so like, oh my God, I want that in my life. Right. It's so, so authentic that you attract so many people to move into the to the products and to the business because you are just yourself. And the more that you are yourself, the more that you're going to attract the right people to your life. So thank you so much, Millie. And you also have a leader that recruited somebody on Instagram, right?
Yeah, so I have people that are awesome at social media too, which is I am so grateful for that. I have Nat, she's my green diamond, and she found someone through a hashtag, and Karen in 60 days, I believe it was 60 days.
Yeah, 60 days.
Yeah, 60 days she reached Blue Diamond. And it was simply from her going on social media. And she would just follow what I would do on social media. And it just started to gain traction. My other cousin, too, Joe, she is even more consistent than I am. And it's so fun to see her on social media because you can relate to her. She's also like very quirky and silly on there, and I love it. It makes sense that we're related. But I highly recommend following her so that you guys can see how fun she is. But yeah, yeah, don't be afraid to, don't think that you have to just talk about Purium. Being relatable is the number one thing that people look for, and connection. And I think that is what has supported me throughout my journey on being on social media.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I invite everyone to get out of the perfectionism prison. PP jail. That's what I call it. You know, because so many of us get trapped in that perfectionism prison and we are not being ourselves. We're behind this bars of being authentic and getting the dreams that we want to come true. So it's progress over perfection. The more that people see you progress, the more people that are going to be falling in love with you, they're going to be able to relate with you. They're going to like the way that you talk. They like the yogurt that you eat. They like the rice that you eat. They like the park that you go to. They like the movies that you watch. Whatever it is that you're doing with your life, if you're drinking Power Shake, they're going to want that too because they can relate to all the other things that you're doing. So that must be just as good as the other things that they love that they also do. So it's really important that you do show yourself and show your life and just be so authentic. And I want to bring in to the call Kelly. Kelly, can you unmute yourself?
Yes,
There we are. Where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. Beautiful Kelly. Kelly, you have a lot of success closing people from Facebook in Facebook groups, right?
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly. And yes, I met Carolina. Actually, I started following her several years ago. And finally, after seeing her inspiring posts and her lifestyle, she posted something around New Year's Eve that really resonated with me about being able to build your business anywhere with social media. And so I finally decided to take the leap and join. And in the beginning for me, I posted very sporadically and just kind of inconsistently. And since joining the business, I've made a conscious decision to be more consistent and to share more of myself and to share the organic superfoods. And in time, I started reaching out to people on Facebook groups. And people comment all the time in these groups that they're struggling with their gut, with their immune system. And so, yes, I've been able to create conversations, as Carolina was mentioning earlier, and it takes time, but you end up finding these like-minded individuals. And I've been able to enroll people through my posts and also through Facebook groups. So I'm very grateful to be here, and thank you, Carolina.
You're so welcome. I mean, at the beginning, you were a little shy. You weren't really posting very much. And I asked you, Kelly, what's your goal? Like, where do you want to go? Do you want to be a crown, or do you want to start where you are? And you said, I want to go to crown. And then you got inspired. And I think somebody tried to discourage you, right? At the beginning.
Yeah, I did get some, you get some feedback at times, but I'm thankful that I got out of that perfectionism prison, and it's an everyday, renewal of that and continuing to remember my why. My why is much more important than maybe some of the negative opinions of others.
I love that. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Yeah.
And Kelly fell in one of my funnels on my stories. I was talking about the business. I love to talk about the business because the business changed my life. And I talk about it so authentically because it has changed my life. So all I have to do is just share it. And Kelly reached out to me, and when I was placing her order, I said, "So what's your address?" And she's like, "Santa Monica." And I was like, "Wait, she's like drivable distance from my house." I was like, I'm gonna deliver the box myself. So I placed her order, and then Ross like, "You're gonna drive to Santa Monica at this time?" I think I dropped it off at like 9 p.m. right? And I drove like an hour to get to your house. And I'm like super committed. I'm gonna hit my UVT this week. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And I want her to get on the products right now so she can start sharing them authentically by next week. Because within a few days of anyone on the products, they start talking about them. And she did. She was a little sick. So I was like, this is perfect timing. I want you to take the cherry tonight, take this. When you wake up, you're going to do this. And then the following week, Kelly, you close your friends in New York.
Yes, right
Yeah,
away. My
right
best
away.
friend decided to enroll. She was also had a cold at that time. And I said, well, I just started something that has helped me so much. And right away, I closed my first ULT.
Yay. Thank you. So it,
You.
it's a commitment. It's a decision. Commit to something and then take the decision and go for it, regardless of how you're feeling. And don't compete with anyone. Competition is a thief of joy. You're too busy getting to crown to notice if somebody else's grass is greener. Okay, focus on your own. Do your own thing, and you're going to get ahead, okay? When people are winning, they don't look back to see where the rest of the team are, okay? They're looking forward. And I want to bring one more. We have time for one more. Eva, it's here. So
Yeah.
Eva, there you are. Beautiful Eva.
I'm
And
here.
our beautiful German. So Eva does not use social media at all. But actually, why don't you share the story, Eva, on how you got into the business?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the call. My name is Eva. I live in Ojai, California, and I'm actually co-owning a fitness studio here in Ventura and also in Santa Barbara. And I'm also doing energetic work, a lot of transformational healing and things like that. So I have done a lot of energetic work on my own body. And then the day came where I really felt my cells were asking for more. It was like this morning where I'm feeling like undernourished, literally. I'm feeling like I run so much light through my body and do all these things, but I need something to ground me. And so I put this little prayer out in the universe. I'm like, it's really time to find something more than what I'm eating. I'm not a big cook, so I'm really having a really fast lifestyle. So I need efficient things in my life that really get me what I need in a short time. So one of those days in the evening, I went on social media, which really happens only once a month. And I am finding my friend Autumn, who is already a diamond now. And she's posting. She's actually also working at my studio. She's a very good friend of mine, but we are so busy, we're not even talking. So I'm receiving her post in my Instagram and see her talking about that gut cleanse. And I really see her light already. She was already on it for a week or two. And I could see the difference even between the last images that I've seen. And I call her right away. Or actually,
Oh, she got muted. Eva, you got muted. So just to clarify, Eva only opens Instagram once a month. Okay.
Yes.
And the time that she opened her Instagram, Autumn, which she hit a faster diamond in under 30 days last month, had made a post, and Eva happened to see it.
Yes.
And as soon as Eva saw it, she's like, I need to get on this right away. So you got started. And she owns a yoga, she owns a fitness center in Ventura. And she immediately got started. Last month you had 10 transformation nows, right?
Yes. Yes, it was amazing. So I really had a beautiful results myself right away. I always had issues with my colon and digestion and the typical thing I think most women struggle with. And just 4 days into it, I already felt amazing and just shared that. And yeah, it's actually pretty easy to get people to understand what we're really about, that this is a different kind of product than just a protein shake, you know. So it's going way deeper, and I'm super happy to be in this company. I have looked for friendship, for camaraderie, for health, for like-mindedness, and it's all here. So I'm really, really grateful to meet you all. I'm looking forward to meet everyone in person.
Thank you so much, Eva. You're doing amazing. She's running for Diamond this month. Thank you. And she's a testimonial that she just happened to open a social media on a random day. She owns multiple fitness studios and she's always busy, and she just happened to open social media that day. And she's like, I'm doing this. And she's got, I think you have like 6 or 9 Transformation 9 boxes that you bought, and she's cycling every day at her studios. So you can attract an Eva if you decide to make a post every day. And somebody that hasn't opened Instagram or Facebook in a month happens to watch it. And then you have a superstar that is joining your team and spreading the message with us, because we can't end human suffering by ourselves. We can only do it with a big army of people that are in alignment with all the things that we believe on. So this is my invitation for you guys to go out there, create a balanced message. Don't only stick to social media, do your in-person and do your social media. Do both. Create a healthy balance so you can help move people through the funnel, because I'll guarantee you, if you only focus on social media, you're going to be where you are for a very long time. Because the people that grow fast are those people that are doing transformation now, that are driving at 9 p.m. to drop off a box, that are invested in their business, because sometimes we have to spend money to make money. And if you spend a little bit of money, you're going to make more money. I guarantee you. Awesome. Any takeaways in the chat? I'm glad it worked out. I just took a flight to Florida, and there was a horrible storm. So we were in the air for 2 hours with turbulence. finally landed. It's raining like crazy. My luggage is soaked. And I get to my sister's house. And actually, I'm going to show you guys. I am in the baby room because she just had a baby. So I'm in the baby room. And I love that we get to do this with this business. We get to grow our business in a baby room, in your living room, at the beach. Your office of the day could be anywhere you choose. And I am so happy. My whole family's waiting for me for dinner in the kitchen. I'm like, guys, I haven't seen you in a long time. I love you, but I got to do this training. And I love this lifestyle. And all of you guys deserve to experience this lifestyle. Just make a decision, commit, don't get distracted. Like Kelly said, reconnect with your why. There was many times I wanted to throw the towel because I said, I made $300 a week. I charge $300 an hour as an architect. It took me a week to make $300. And I was like, this is not even worth my effort. And I almost throw the towel so many times. And Lucy Maces, which is here, thank you, Lucy, and Michael Maces, they kept on reminding me, where do you want to see yourself in a year from now? What are you willing to sacrifice today to have what you want tomorrow? Because what you want is going to cost you something. Nothing comes from free. But if you're willing to make that sacrifice, you are going to win, because the only way to quit is the only way to fail is to quit. So if you commit to stay in the game long enough, you will win. It is a matter of time. And the more pressure that you face, the more that you're going to grow, because diamonds can only be made under pressure. So be okay being uncomfortable. Be okay shaking and ending your life right in the middle on tip 2. I've done that. And my mom is like, why did you just, I was like, I got disconnected. I got so nervous. I ended the live. Okay. Then I went through the teleprompter. Then I moved to sticky notes. And now I feel comfortable without needing any of those tools. But the tools were my training wheels. So figure out what system works for you to help you, to hold you accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. In this business, we don't have a boss. Your calendar is your boss. You get to decide what you do with your life, how many people you get to change, and you get to decide how much money you want to make. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where you're told how much you're worth. Here, you decide your worth. And that was huge for me. And I was willing to give up my whole architecture career, where I was very successful, to do this. That brought me a lot of reward, that brought so many friends and family to my life. I mean, Marcus is here, Patty, Julie, there's so many of our leaders here. And all of them, they all come to my house and cook dinner with me. We're all going to convention. Are you guys going to convention? Are you excited? Make the commitment to bring somebody with you, because that is going to be transformational. That's where you're going to build a belief. When I went to the last convention, I took a picture with the magazine cover. They had a big magazine cover that said New Crown. And I took a picture with it, pretending it was me on the magazine cover. And I gave myself a deadline. And a year and 5 months, a year and 3 months later, I achieved Crown. Okay, so you guys can do it too. If I did it, you guys can do it too. Just make that decision and go forward. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this was valuable. And I will see you guys in convention. Make sure you're there. Come early, get to mingle and hang out with all of us, and build a strong belief around your life about the business. And the stronger your belief is, the more that you're going to bring it into your life. It starts with that belief, okay, that you can do it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm going to go see my family. They're waiting for me. I feel so bad. I was like, oh, I'm in the air for 2 hours. I'm happy to be in Florida. I already, when the airport doors opened up and I was faced with the heat and the rain, I was like, okay, yeah, we're in Florida. I love it. All right, guys, have a good night. Take care. Thank you, everybody.